What's happening, family? Listen, so one of the channel members just jumped in the comment box and asked that I believe that the narcissist was demonically possessed. So I'm going to give my opinion here, and I'm going to give y'all some examples of why I feel the way that I feel on the topic. So first, if y'all are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I absolutely appreciate and want to thank each and every last one of you guys that are new to the channel for joining, and for all of my day ones, thank you guys for continuing to rock with me. Absolutely love you guys. Y'all already know that, man. But yeah, so for me, do I think that the narcissist is demonically possessed? For me, that is a strong yes. And okay, so I'm gonna give you a few reasons why I believe that and why I feel the way that I feel about it. So I told you guys that I felt like the narcissist intentionally set me up into a baby trap, right? So it seems like, and this is just, you know what I'm saying, this is just, you know, my evaluation and my observation of the situation, but it's almost like she knew exactly when she got pregnant. You see what I'm saying? Like, we had sex, you know what I'm saying? And in the middle of us having sex, she was, you know what I'm saying? Like, she basically was doing the stealthing thing. She was pulling, she kept pulling the condom off the last few times we had sex. You know what I'm saying? And every time that I would ask her, like, you know, what's going on with you? What's up with that? You know, why you keep doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you trying to get pregnant? Are you trying to do this? Are you trying to do that? She would be like, no, no, no. And she would be telling me all these lies. And like I said, showing me ovulation calendars, showing me like, oh, this is the day that I can and can't get pregnant, and all of that kind of stuff. So basically, she was just trying to like get me to lower my guards, which she did, you know what I'm saying? Get me to lower my guards so that I would continue to have sex with her and I guess ejaculate in her to the point where she would get pregnant. Now, she had done this maybe 3 times, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally on like the 3rd time around is like when she got pregnant. But this particular time, as soon as we had sex and everything was over with, you know, I had just, you know, I had just ejaculated and everything. So as soon as everything was said and done, we were both kind of just laying in the bed, and she let out this like demonic sounding laugh. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like a normal, like, imagine being around somebody and you've heard this person laugh for, you know, a bunch of times for the last like 10 years or so. And then all of a sudden you hear like a sound that you have never heard from this person. I mean, like, it's not even a tone that you have ever heard from this person. And the laugh was so demonic. It was kind of like a witch's laugh. It was like a, it was like weird, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of eerie. And when she first did it, it caught me so off guard that I kind of just like looked at her like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? Not thinking nothing of it, not thinking like, oh, this person is evil or she's demonic or she's a demon or anything at that point. I'm just like, that was strange. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was strange as hell. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that made me feel like, you know, this person was definitely demonically possessed. Then after that, it's kind of like just how her brain immediately went to the most evil thing she could do in the circumstance. So it was times where she had to like really think on the fly. You know what I'm saying? There was times where she had to really, you know, her response to the environment or whatever was going on in the environment at that time had to be so quick that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how could somebody think of something that evil to do or to say that quickly? You know what I'm saying? It was like her brain was just trained to, you know, work for the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, it honestly was like, you know, how most of us think, or even some of us, we may take time to process something. You know what I'm saying? It was like she knew exactly how to hurt somebody, you know, within the first couple of seconds of her thinking about something. It was like almost instantaneous. Like she just knew how to do it. You know what I'm saying? She knew what to say to get under people's skin around her. And I noticed it not only with myself, but just with a lot of the other people that were in our vicinity at the time. So the third instance was after the discard, and I found out about narcissism and everything, and I started kind of just gray rocking real hard. I started kind of like really ignoring all of her attempts to try to get me to like feed into her drama and all of that kind of stuff. So one day there was a instance where she wanted to argue about something concerning our child, and it was something that I knew for a fact that I like didn't do, and it was something that I was just not going to give her energy on, and I was not going to I just wasn't going to feed into the drama, because I knew I was in the right about whatever it was that she, like, it was a hat, as a matter of fact. I think I had told you guys about this video. I mean, I think I told you about this incident in another video. So there was a time where my son had one of those little Russian, like those little hats with the fur on it. You know what I'm saying? The winter type hats, little Russian hats or whatever. They got the little chin strap down here, whatever. So my son had one of those, and the hat was extremely dirty. I threw the hat in the washing machine. Now, he wore the hat over here during the exchange. Once I got my child, I noticed that the hat was dirty, and I threw it in the washing machine, cleaned it and everything. And when I was sending him back home with his mother, she noticed that the hat wasn't on his head. But this particular day, it wasn't as cold. So like Friday when my son came to me, it was pretty cold. Sunday when he left, it was a lot warmer, so I didn't have the hat on his head. I just put it in his bag. And so as I'm walking my son out to the car, and I'm handing my son to her and everything, she just goes off on me, and she's screaming about this hat. And she's like, just because you didn't buy the hat don't mean that you should be losing his stuff. And basically she was trying to say that I lost his hat on purpose, or that I was just careless with his belongings because I didn't buy it, or whatever the case may be. And I knew it was just like a way to get some type of rise out of me. So I knew that I had taken the hat, which was dirty, which she should have washed. But since she didn't wash it, I went ahead and took it downstairs, threw it in the washing machine, washed it and everything, put it in his bag, and sent it back with her. Because she didn't see it on his head, she decided to just flip out and go off on me and tell me, how much of a bad parent I am, and how I am, just because I didn't buy the hat doesn't mean that I should be careless with his stuff and all of this kind of stuff, not knowing that I actually washed it and stuck it in the bag for her so that he could, wear it in the future and it would be clean for him. So she goes off on me in this instance, and like I said, once again, I have been around this woman for years, you know what I'm saying, off and on. Now, I can't say that I had ever seen her rage because we didn't live together. I've heard about some of her rages, especially from her oldest son, you know what I'm saying? And I heard her kind of rage on him a few times. She would kind of like scream on him, and I would be on the phone, and I was like, what, why you talk to your son like that? You know what I'm saying? Or why would you, why were you so angry in that situation that you felt the need to like threaten him or throw his belongings around or any of that kind of stuff? Like, why, what's going on? And I never really, saw it firsthand, but I had heard it over the phone, like while she was dealing with her child or that kind of thing. But this particular time, like I said, it was after the discard. And now I think, she had tried to hoover a few times, and I wasn't going for the hoover. I kept like just blocking the hoover or ignoring her. I was gray rocking real strong and everything. And so since I'm gray rocking real strong, I guess it was like irritating her. You know what I'm saying? It was aggravating her demons or whatever the case may be. So she's looking for any way to try to like get at me or get a rise out of me or get me to, respond negatively to her or just respond to her at all. And this particular day, when she started screaming about the hat, she was screaming at a tone that it didn't sound human. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've been around this woman for, a lot of years, and I've heard her talk loud. I've heard her yell. I've heard her, laugh and joke and all of this kind of stuff. But this was different. You know what I'm saying? The sound that she had coming from her, it sounded like a wounded animal shrieking at me. You know what I'm saying? But she was yelling words, but it sounded like, think about like an animal being attacked, and like how high pitch and how like it was like a lion's roar. You know what I'm saying? It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was a heavy rumbling in her voice, and it was just like this, like, rah, you know what I'm saying? It was like this real bad just energy came from behind that, and I'm like looking at her, and I walked away from her. Don't get me wrong, like, you know what I'm saying, because by this point I was gaining the knowledge about narcissism, and I was gaining the knowledge about, gray rocking and how to just not basically feed into the drama and feed into the negativity or whatever the case may be. So when she screamed on me and when she yelled, I'm already thinking like, the hat is in the bag. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I ignored her and I walked away, but I could not get over like the tone of the scream, like the way she was talking to me. It didn't sound human. You know what I'm saying? It didn't sound like, a regular, normal female that's just, arguing or yelling or she's upset about something. There was like this internal rage that was like just spilled over, and you know what I'm saying, it was like, I guess like maybe she had been holding on to that anger for so long that it was just like a roar, like, you know what I'm saying, it was like she was growling it at me, you know what I'm saying, and I'm looking at her like, damn, that did not sound human, you know what I'm saying, and it kind of, threw me off and kind of like made me it kind of embarrassed me a little bit, because this happened right outside of my home, and my neighbors and everybody is outside, and they kind of like, look up like, dang, what the hell going on over there? Because all they heard was this loud, like, this roar that was just like, it wasn't her, you know what I'm saying? So, moving forward, like, sexually, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things that she would do sexually that was not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily say it was like demonic or anything like that in that case, but it's almost like even when it came down to sex, she was tapping into a higher I'm not gonna say a higher power, because I don't want to give like her like a godlike status in any type of way, because it's not a good thing that I'm saying, but it's like it seems like she knew more about men or about me, you know what I'm saying, and it could just be the fact that she had a whole lot of experience with men or whatever the case may be. But to me, from the outside looking in now, and like hindsight looking back, it seems like it wasn't necessarily just the experiences and all of that she had with men, but it seemed like there was a demonic driver behind her sexual activity. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like there was a demonic presence behind how she moved sexually. You know what I'm saying? And how she used sex to lure men in and all of that kind of stuff. You can feel like, especially being out of it and looking back at it now, I could feel how evil, you know what I'm saying, and how demonic the sex felt actually when I was dealing with her. You know what I'm saying? It felt like I was crossing different souls and this, that, and the third, and probably because she had so many different sexual partners that I didn't really realize that that's what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So, and then when it comes down to it, if you've ever heard the narcissist go into a word salad, you know what I'm saying? Like, when the narcissist finally got pregnant and she went through the whole discard and I'm trying to make sense of everything, the word salad that she gave me, it was so all over the place that it was like, it was almost like it wasn't human, that, it wasn't a human being that I was having a conversation with, you know what I'm saying? Or it was almost like I was speaking, we both speaking English, but it was almost like I was speaking a whole different language, and we were both like speaking a different language to the point where I could not understand nothing that she was talking about, and she wasn't trying to hear anything I had to say. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost like it was something behind her that was just pushing her, and it just blocked her off. And like I said, to me, when I say demonic possession, it's like, I've never seen somebody's personality switch so fast. You know what I'm saying? Never in my life have I ever seen that. I've seen people gradually over time change and this, that, and the third. But I'm talking about, like, imagine somebody being a certain way. And I know you guys can relate because a lot of you guys have lived with the narcissist or been married to the narcissist 10, 20, 30, 40 years. If y'all have been in a relationship with the narcissist for over 10 years, y'all know what I'm saying. Get in the comment box if y'all have been in the relationship for over 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it 10 years because at the 10-year mark, you can kind of see, and you know how this person moves. You know what I'm saying? You know who this person is. In 10 years, you've been able to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? And especially after you've gone through the discard, and now you really know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? And now you really know what this person is capable of. And like in my situation, I didn't realize what was going on. Like, I would have never thought that the narcissist was cheating or any of that kind of stuff because of the fact that she was always around me. So it was like one of those situations, like, how do you even have the time to cheat? How do you even have the time to be doing anything else? Because you were always up under me. But then now I look back and I can look at the situation and say, okay, well, it was a lot of times that she was on her phone playing Candy Crush or something like that, she was potentially texting other dudes and all of that kind of stuff. But it was a lot of times where I would be I would be working, or, I worked a lot of overtime, or I worked a lot of part-time jobs and stuff like that. So it was almost like a blessing when I would go and get a part-time job. So for her, it was like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You're at work, bet. And so it was almost like a green light or a green pass for her to just, while I'm at work, she would step off and go and do her own thing. And it was easy for her to do that. Like, and this is a whole nother thing as far as dealing with people that you don't live with. I know this is totally off topic, but I just had to throw this in there because it was on the tip of my tongue. It was like, when you're dealing with somebody that you do not live with, it's important to check to see how that person moves outside of your household, because the only frame of reference that I had for this woman every time she would come in and out of my life is when her and I were out, like either on a date or something like that, which that's kind of a controlled environment. It's kind of a controlled situation. Or when she was at my house, you know what I'm saying? So I never really got a chance to see how she interacted with a lot of other people, how she interacted with her family members, things like that. The only interaction that I would hear about her family members and things like that would be over the phone. And you can't really see stuff, over the phone. A lot of people have dysfunctionalities and stuff like that. And over the phone, you may take it one way, but it may not be that way. But if you actually get in person with a lot of these family members, and you can kind of just see how they feed off each other and how they interact with each other, and how this cousin don't like this cousin, or this sister is always in it with this brother right here, and you know what I'm saying. So those are a lot of the things that I missed in my situation because I didn't spend a lot of time with her family. She kept me isolated. I did a video, my last video on isolation, and basically she kept me and my family away from her and her family. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the ways that she kept me isolated, to the point where, like I said, a lot of people think that the narcissist will isolate you through, you know, infiltrating your family and coming in and, you know, just separating you from your people or whatever. But that's really not how isolation works. You know what I'm saying? Isolation is like they will keep you away from anybody that you could tell that the real story to. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what happened in my situation. So I don't know anybody in her family. So if they like, if I was to start speaking about everything that happened right now, if I was to start just exposing everything, yeah, there would be a lot of people that that know, like there's some mutual people in the situation that know, okay, what really happened. And there are people on my side of things that know what really happened, and they know me well enough to know, like, okay, no, you know, this is not how that went down. But everybody on her side of things, everybody that's in her family, everybody all of her flying monkeys and supporters and stuff like that, they don't know me at all. They've never met me. Most of them have never even met me. Like, if they were to come on this channel right here and see me talking about narcissism, they still wouldn't put two and two together that, you know, that I'm speaking of her. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, because of that, it's like these people only have that one frame of reference. They only have that one thing to go by to say, okay, yeah, this person is, you know, this person is, you know, what the narcissist has been saying that they are. So this person has been doing this or doing that or doing the third or whatever the case may be. Like, everybody in her family is going to take and believe whatever it is that she says, if they don't have a mind of their own, and if they don't, you know, if they aren't authentic people themselves. But as we all know, a lot of the narcissist families are demonically possessed themselves. A lot of the narcissist family is just as toxic as they are, you know what I'm saying? And they are usually the ones enabling them to get away with a lot of the stuff that they're out here doing. So I just wanted to drop this video on y'all real quick. Like, I definitely feel like the narcissist has something driving what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? There's something in them that is in you know, a lot of the self-aware narcissists, they'll call it, oh yeah, these are my narcissistic defenses, and these are my this and that, and you know, all of that kind of stuff. But when I get into a spiritual backdrop of all of this kind of stuff, and if you talk to anybody that is an honest self-aware narcissist, you know what I'm saying, they will tell you that they have certain urges and they hear voices and things like that, and certain demons inside of them and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of the self-aware, they will completely like be like, no, we're not demonic, this is not demon possession and all of that kind of stuff. And I get it, I understand. You know, especially when you're stigmatized, I feel like all of us have the ability, and all of us have attacks, you know, demonic attacks against us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what spiritual warfare is. You know what I'm saying? It's demonic attacks against, you know, the will of God and the will of God for our life and all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like all of us can be attacked by demons and stuff like that. I'm not necessarily saying this to judge the narcissist, but do I feel like there is something behind the behavior of the narcissist? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Do I feel like there's a reason why they are so prone to doing evil and all of that kind of stuff? Because my thing is, it will be one thing to be afraid of being in relationships because you've been hurt before. I get that. It will be one thing to, you know, have attachment issues and stuff like that because you've been abandoned and all of that kind of stuff in your life. I could understand that. What I don't understand is the sadistic side of you know, the of their behaviors. I don't get they get turned on by doing the dirt. They get turned on by the evil. They get turned on, and I think that's what hurts a lot of the survivors, is that, you know, it's one thing that you hurt me, but it's another thing that you hurting me excited you. You know what I'm saying? You hurting me, you know, it turns you on into a way that, you know, you wanted to continue that abuse. You wanted to continue that behavior. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have any type of level of insight to say, damn, what I did was just wrong. You know what I'm saying? That was foul. I shouldn't have did that, any of that kind of stuff. So I think that's one of the things that really, you know, get to the survivors of narcissism, because it's like, damn, I mean, you know, you not only are you going to do me how you did me, but you getting off to this. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stroking you in some type of way. You feel you feel a certain type of way about it. You got little tinglies in you because of how you just did me. So it's like that is kind of like throwing salt in the wound to the survivors. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, do I feel like there is some demonic possession behind this? Yes. And like I said, one of the reasons, and it's not just the behaviors. It's like I saw this person transform into something, into a figure that I have never seen. Like even the faces that she was making was, I couldn't recognize her. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't even like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like this person was normally attractive to me and all of that kind of stuff. But then when I saw her go into that mode, it was something that I couldn't unsee. And then now that I've seen it, it's like, that's what I see now when I see her. You know what I'm saying? That's the image that I see. Even though a lot of times, like, I know she comes over, she has her hair done, you know, she's looking good, she's, you know what I'm saying, still on point and all of that kind of stuff as far as, you know, how she looks and everything. But I don't look at her, you know, the same. You know what I'm saying? I'll never look at her the same. So my attraction and everything in that way has like just completely subsided, because number one, I know how evil you are. You know what I'm saying? I know how, you know, just fucked up your mentality is. You know what I'm saying? I know how, you know, the history you come from, you know what I'm saying? And not only just the history that you come from, but your influences, like your mother and people like that, the people that have basically made her into who she is, the people that actually damaged her, you know what I'm saying? Like she's hopping from guy to guy to guy and hurting all of these guys that really, a lot of these guys, especially like in my situation, I literally came into the situation thinking I was going to love her and I was going to receive love in return. You know what I'm saying? So I came in with good intentions of wanting to, you know, give my love to somebody, especially like a lot of us do, empathic people. We can see and we can sense that this person is hurting, this person is this, and this person is that. So we want to come in and think that we can play Captain Save-A-Ho, or, you know, Captain Save him, or whatever the case may be. And we want to go in and say, man, you know, and we like give all this energy and all of this love and affection and all of this time, you know, and all of that kind of stuff to this person. And it builds them up and builds them up and builds them up, so they can continue to go on and keep living their foul existence of a life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like, me personally, I feel like there is something demonic behind the behaviors of the narcissist. Now, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people may have a different terminology for it. A lot of people may call it just mental illness. A lot of people may, you know, you can say what you want to say about it. However, I know what I saw, you know what I'm saying? And I know what I heard. And there are certain things that in that situation, it was no other explanation for it other than, no, this is something demonic. This is some evil, like spiritual, like wickedness. This is wickedness at its finest. You know what I'm saying? This is wickedness. This is evil. This right here is the best definition of evil. You know what I'm saying? Like just looking at her family, looking at how they interacted and all of that kind of stuff. That was like literally the best definition that I could think of. Like if I had to think about an evil person, she'd be like literally the first person that came to mind. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all, you know, I just wanted to drop this video on y'all real quick, and I want to know how y'all feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do y'all feel like the narcissist is demonically possessed? Like, what are your thoughts on the situation? You know what I'm saying? And if so, and you have real legitimate reasons, I'm not saying like, oh, I just feel like the narcissist is because they're mean and all. Nah, like if you have legitimate reasons on like did y'all hear their voice change? You know what I'm saying? Like when they were raging and all of that kind of stuff. Did anybody else hear an ungodly tone? You know what I'm saying? Because I heard an ungodly tone, like it didn't sound like a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to know that kind of stuff. Like did y'all hear that kind of thing that it was like, man, this person don't even sound human. You know what I'm saying? This person or the things that they did were so inhumane that it was like that's the only explanation. So get in the comment box if y'all have any type of examples, because I just want to, you know, I want to get the examples out there so people will see behind the veil. You know what I'm saying? To see what's going on behind the veil and see what's going on behind the behaviors of the narcissist. So that's my video, y'all. I will tap in with y'all later. I love you guys, and I will see y'all later. I'll see y'all soon, man. I hope to drop another video tomorrow, man. I'll see y'all in a minute. Love y'all.